How to humble a Childerley. Paul goes grouse shooting on the Bolton estate.
The adrenaline builds because you hear the beaters coming from like miles away, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds, and yeah, and then the explosion of grouse. You miss one, it's like, argh.
We're back stalking stags on sunny Mull, where a change of wind means a change of plan.
Get ready.
There's a new northern shooting show in Harrogate next year. I meet the people who are putting it together.
What was the northern shooting show, then the national shooting show, was going to cease to exist. We couldn't let it happen.
David is on the Fieldsports Channel news stump. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain.
Gamekeeper Paul Childerley is on a busman's holiday. Usually running his own driven pheasant, partridge and duck shoots in the south of England, today he's at the Bolton estate in the Yorkshire Dales for a day of driven grouse shooting.
Just really excited actually, just somewhere totally different for me, and weather's good. We've seen grouse on the way in, so yeah, we've got a plan of action for the day, and yeah, it's buzzing, everyone's buzzing. Everyone, we met up last night and everyone's excited for the day, so yeah, so it's going to be a different experience for me than the pheasants and partridge and duck, so yeah, looking forward to it. I have shot them before. I shot them when I was about 12, 13 in Wales, believe it or not. That was my first grouse experience, and but not. I've been up to Yorkshire a few times before, loading and doing little bits and pieces, but not a proper driven day like today, so it should be good. Yeah, so make sure the shoulders warmed up and ready for action. Right, let's go. Okay, we're ready, shoulder ready, safety canes up ready, and yeah, very excited. First driven grouse day for many moons. So yeah, but we're number 6. I believe there's grouse in front of us by the sound. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, 12 o'clock. Got him. One at the back. Hey! Just picked up 10 empty cases with 5 grouse, so 2 to 1. Not that I'm like trying to do it on cartridge ratio, but it's just quite interesting because you know, it's a totally different style of shooting. And they are quick and fast, so happy with that. 2 to 1, very good, very good. Yeah, the first 2 pack wrench straight out of that top corner, yeah.
Nah, brilliant.
And then
There's a lot there.
You dealt with them in that?
We are seeing plenty of grouse today, but that's just one side of the estate. Head keeper Ian Slightholme prefers to be known as Head of Conservation.
We have good numbers of ground nesting species, or rare red-listed species such as curlew, golden plover, merlin, short-eared owl, that we do a lot of work for. But then all the traditional stone barns, we put in owl boxes in them and monitoring owls. We've got the ospreys that we put platforms up and they're doing really well. Yeah, no, I've a passion for birds all my life, so being a gamekeeper is probably the perfect job to be in. Yeah, we're bird watching every day and looking after them. Although we shoot birds, but the grouse shooting pays for the conservation work. So you take the shooting away, and yeah, where does the funds come from? So yeah.
Drive 2, we're all set up, got cartridge laid out, cameras all done, and yeah, just still remembering a few of those shots on the first drive. Oh, one from behind. And the old picking up scene. Yeah, you have to be on it and you have to be aware. I mean, even if you've got a lot of space in front of you, you still have to be like aware of the flankers coming in and yeah, see your shot through and plan it out before you pull the trigger. So it's good. In a sense, it's a little bit like grey partridges, just because they hold a tight pack and you have to pick out the individual birds. You know, it's an explosion of birds. It's like got to focus on one, concentrate on that one, try and get that one. If you get that one, then move on to the next rather than going, you know, in a frenzy. So yeah, it's similar to grey partridges. And when they come, they're banking through, they're moving, they're talking to each other. And yeah, it's super exciting, super exciting.
Whoa! Yes.
That was good, yeah, I think definitely 5, shared 1 to 6. And it's quite funny, the first pack come through, took me by surprise. Yeah, they have, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first pack come through, managed to get one at the back, that was good. Next pack come through, they were perfect. Bang, bang, miss, miss. I couldn't believe it, shot straight over the top of them when they're going, anyway. Then onto that, and then shot absolute, a real pearler, about 60 yards right out there. And I killed one at the back there as well, another really good shot. Yeah, so we ended up 5 definites and possibly a share, so yeah, pleased with that. They were difficult because they were like, you couldn't see them because they're like right underneath the heather line and then on you. Yeah. So, exciting, super exciting, so.
After a quick stop for 11s, we have one more grouse drive. There is a long wait in the butt while the beaters bring in a massive area. Eventually, a single bird comes straight towards Paul.
Yeah, the nice single to start with, and then the big pack up to around probably 100 plus. The adrenaline builds because you hear the beaters coming from like miles away, and it just like, builds and builds and builds and builds, and yeah, and then the explosion of grouse. You got like limited shots, so you sort of like, you know, want to make sure of every shot and you want to do it right. And of course, when you miss one, it's like, oh, I start blaming you, James.
We finish off the day with a partridge drive on the low ground. Paul is standing in a deep gully.
Yeah, really good day. Yeah, the grouse flew well. Yeah, they handled really well. Nice team of guns, shot really well. And just a nice mix with the grouse and partridge. A lovely day, really.
Chelsea King has been shooting with Scott Shuckford.
First ever grouse shooting and I've managed it. Exhilarating. Yeah, they sort of creep up on you. They're there before you know it. And then you're pulling out your gun and thinking, oh God, he's going to get past me. Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah. So I want to get the foot taken off and make a brooch. Yeah, it's something I wanted to do for a long time. I've had grouse on the bucket list and I knew when I did it I wanted to have a foot done to have made as a brooch. I mean, I shot a fallow at Jeff's and had a deer skin gun slip and bag made. So it's just one of those things, you know, we'll go home, eat it and also make something out of it as well. It's good.
You can find Paul Childerley at childerleysporting.co.uk, and for more about the estate, go to boltonestate.co.uk.
Thank you all who made that film possible. And if you enjoyed the shot cam shots and suddenly realised that a shot cam will transform your shooting, there's a link below to the Gen 4 shot cam with a 10% discount in our shop. Next, he also goes 75 miles per hour over rough ground in the right conditions. It's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. The British Army is teaching shotgun skills as a way of shooting down drones. A new film on the BFBS YouTube channel follows the British Army clay target shooting team visiting Cyprus for a development camp in the sun. According to Major Jason Wright, the Army is keen to teach shotguns as a way of countering drone attacks. Thanks to Guy Singleton for the story.
We've seen, unfortunately, in the war in Ukraine currently, the use of first-person drones, etc. I think moving targets are a much more relevant target when it comes to operational shooting.
An MP has met with a Chief Constable to complain about weights for firearms licensing. Richard Fuller, Conservative MP for North Bedfordshire, met the Chief Constable for Bedfordshire after the constabulary topped a league table of worst performing forces. Fuller told police that delays can have a profound impact on farmers, local marksmen, as well as young people wanting to take up shooting as a sport. Thanks to Greg Hill for the story. 2 Fieldsports members have told us that police firearms departments have asked them for drug and alcohol tests. One of them put in his firearms renewal information plus payment, then had a request from North Wales Police for the test. The cheapest test he says he found was £640. He's been told that failure to comply can result in revocation. Here is Chris Downs, former Met Police firearms lead and creator of firearmslicensing.net.
The use of police drug tests within firearms licensing is a relatively new development. These are rare, but in our experience, their use is starting to increase across the UK.
Alfie Aldring, a shooter we featured 8 years ago who was accidentally shot in a pigeon hide, has raised more than £100,000 for his local hospital. Alfie started the 2 smoking barrel clay pigeon shoot to raise money for Basingstoke Hospital. Now, in its 8th year, the amount the shoot has raised has topped £100,000. Centre Parks is recording a record number of red squirrel sightings. The British Holiday Company says there have been 215 red squirrel sightings at Winfell Forest in Cumbria, where it supports local grey squirrel shooters in reducing grey populations in order to maintain the reds. Belgian police have arrested 4 Britons for poaching. Local hunters cornered the gang after a tip from a farmer. Hunters and farmers told the local hunting association that British poachers have been a nuisance for years, but it's difficult to catch them. The hunters cornered the poachers by trapping their car in a pincer movement between 2 of their own vehicles and waiting for police to arrive. A report that cancer patients in Sweden may lose their gun certificates has led to a storm of protest. Politicians, hunting organisations and representatives of gun owners have lashed out at Sweden's National Board of Health and Welfare, which has proposed the move following a mass shooting in February 2025. Thanks to Per Helmseth for the story. And finally, a Japanese governor says he will call in the military to cull bears to protect locals amid a wave of attacks. According to Japanese government statistics, 9 people have been killed by bears in Japan since April this year, an annual record. Dozens of other injuries have been reported across the country. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts. Fieldsports Channel members get more. Every week there's Fieldsports Extra, our exclusive show packed with behind-the-scenes clips, interviews and a free prize draw. Plus, membership gives you access to our Fieldsports Advice Bureau for help with shooting and firearms licensing, with our in-house lawyer on your side. And with our insurance, you're covered for £5 million public liability for shooting activities across the UK, as well as legal expenses cover. Join today so we can keep the pressure on and the volume up.
Here's what's in this week's Fieldsports Extra. An ex-policeman talking about gun grabs, a monkey, and my dad is back for another short lecture.
The first thing she knew, she was in the air, diving to save him.
This week's Fieldsports Extra prize draw celebrates our 400th Fieldsports Extra, as well as the remarkable survival of Dean Smallwood. It is a £350 knife made by Dean, who's stuck at home following his stroke, which he had while on active service with Fieldsports Channel. Here is Dean describing it.
Hello everybody, good to see you all again. And first of all, can I just say a massive thank you to everybody who sent me messages, both on YouTube, after Charlie told the world about my little episode up in Penrith. So thank you once again, all the messages, text messages, WhatsApps, it's been brilliant, thank you. Anyway, I would like to offer the membership one of these. It's just completed it. It's a new design. It's called the Fenman, and as you can see, it's got a semi-mirrored finish, but also, if I zoom in there, you can see it's got the Fieldsports Nation logo on that side, and the name of the knife on that side there, the Fenman. Yeah, as I say, it's a new design. It's a sort of, I suppose you'd call it a survival knife really, in its sort of style. It's heavy duty, it's made of 4mm thick ABL stainless steel, and as you can see it's got a rather deep cutout here called a choil, thumb choil. So you can use it just normally like so, fits in the hand very well, or if you want to do some more delicate work you can put your thumb on this thumb choil here and then work away with a bit more control. So I'll hand you back to Charlie, he can tell you how to win it, and yeah, good luck everybody, and thanks again.
Link to ADG custom knives below. Next, we're out on the Isle of Mull after stags.
Spirits are high following our tough but rewarding stalk in the pouring rain on the Isle of Mull.
Good shot. Reload.
We have a large-bodied stag in the larder.
Epic day for the memory bank, and hopefully today will be a bit easier.
Dried out our clothing, plus rifle, and if our boots weren't as wet as an otter's pocket, life would be perfect.
Boy, was it wet yesterday.
Time to embrace the gorgeous scenery, which will, we hope, deliver another awesome Scottish stag stalk experience. The Argo Cat takes us so far, and then we're on foot.
Right, day two.
Day two.
And the sun's out.
Drier, no wet underwear. This is the Strath. It's beautiful ground. It's open hill. You see it's the steps coming down. Well, we're on the opposite side of that, and we're going over. And each step you go over, there could be deer there. I can guarantee you there is. We'll come onto the cliffs, and you'll get the Carsig arches below. You'll get the famous sea cliffs where there's wild goats on it. And the stag groups have been two or three big groups of stags. We'll go in and try and pick something off once again. If it's uneven, poor or V-shaped, we'll shoot it. But here we're going in with the south-southwest wind, and the weather's going to get better, and that's guaranteed. It never rains on Mull.
Okay. We are after another cull stag, and judging by yesterday's experience, Graham will once again want to get in as close as possible. As we duck and dive to avoid our cover being blown, Graham explains how to tell whether the habitat is being grazed by deer or by something else.
I remember telling you about the so-called expert that gave a lecture from one of these conservation NGO groups about deer damage, and I actually called him out as a charlatan. Well, that is the deer bite. You see how it cuts and you get that little tongue at the top? And that as well. But if you get a straight cut, it's not a deer. The deer, because it's got teeth, got the leather palate, go cut and pull, and that's the bit gap between the gap of the tooth, or it's not cut with a tooth. So you get a tip to it. So you get that, a cut and a wee rip at the end. Oh, yeah. That's deer. Now you won't get in every single bite they take, but if you look at 5 or 6 pieces of grass and you find that, you know that's deer. If it's a straight cut, like this, it's not like that, it's not deer. See the difference? Deer leave the tongue. And you hear all these people how they're deer experts or damage experts. No. Go and read some of the Old Forest Commission Rangers Handbook by Harry Pepper and see how to identify damage. That's stripping by teeth on trees and also on grass.
Okay,
and
but
other
it's
things.
only a couple of mil, but there's definitely an extra bit there, yeah?
Yeah, and that's this deer.
After an hour or so, we arrive at the cliffs. It's quite a view.
Bad office, Graham.
Oh, I've had worse. This is the nicest bit on the estate. You got that's Carsig over there, Loch Buoy around in that peninsula, and goes round. It looks like an island, but it's a peninsula. And this is the Carsig cliffs, but not a bad place to work.
Eventually, we have quarry. A group of stags up in front of us next to what looks like a series of bunkers on a golf course.
In between those two on the right, there's about a dozen to 14 stags. There's a mixture from young, mature and old, and there's bound to be something poor in that. So we're going to go and get that. But where we are, with this south wind and south-southwest, we could get them from here, but when we get over this ridge, there's no cover, and we'll blow it. So what we'll do is, unfortunately chaps, we'll have to go round here and have a hard climb up the face of that, come round the top, could well find deer on the top,
Yeah.
go over the valley and come in and shoot from that cliff to the green.
That's quite a walk.
Yeah, but I guarantee
Guaranteed. What?
I guarantee you'll see other deer.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Might be
fine,
females, but
Yeah.
you'll see other deer going that way.
But brilliant. I just love that. We've got a plan now. So crampons on, rucksacks tight.
New set of lungs required. So we'll go there. That's where we're going next. Cool.
If you can't avoid deer, sometimes you need to push them on gently. Graham gives a group of hinds something to think about.
That's it, go.
Where did they go?
Do you see the black rock? They went that way. We didn't want them going that way into the wind. So we went the way we want them to go, not into the wind, because if we went in the wind, they'd have lifted those stags. But they didn't know what we were. They just saw my hat and they went, bark, bark, and that's, what are you? If they'd seen us, they'd been gone.
We make our way around on our group. Graham makes slight adjustments depending on what animals are in our path and a swirling wind. On the final approach, we spook deer. Fortunately, they head away instead of towards our target group. Tim unsleeves the rifle and we make our approach.
It's the big royal. No. He's massive and he's too good to shoot. That only leaves another 12 to look at. But he must have got a bit of a puff of that wind. Right, get ready.
Then things happen fast. Graham directs Tim to take a youngster from the back of the group.
Right, that back one. You've hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a young'un. It's one for the dealer. It's good, excellent. And to be honest, shooting off your knee like that, good shot. But that's because they had just got our scent.
Yeah.
And if you feel now, it's in our face, and it's coming from the east, south, east. And what it is the wind's coming up off the cliff, swirling, going up the hill in a swirl. And we've got one way and then it swirls back and it hits us, and that's what they got.
It is a great shot, and on closer inspection, Graham is pleased with the result. It's an opportunity to discuss bullet placement when using lead alternative ammo.
If he makes 90 kilos, I'll be very surprised. Probably won't do that.
So the beast was basically quartering away. We kind of looked
Yes.
back a wee bit.
And you can see the shot.
Yeah.
Good, that'll do.
Yeah,
Non-toxic, instead of going up the back to the front leg and shooting there, non-toxic, I come up here and I shoot here, so I'm going about that much further forward to get the expansion and the damage so it hits a bit of bone.
So old-fashioned way.
Back of the front leg.
The front leg, and you shoot there.
Yeah.
But what we're saying now, from your experience,
And that's
on the
what I'm
hill,
saying, to shoot is take it up the middle
middle of the front
and
leg.
where my fist goes in there.
So we kind of third to halfway up.
So you've got that, the bone goes like that, and you've got this area. Now we would be a little bit further back in the old days, but now with that non-toxic, we have to shoot there.
So you see that triangle where the shoulders.
And you saw what happened when you shot that. He went on and fell.
So that's. And if you take a shoulder, it's better. You lose the shoulder, but it's better than an animal running away.
The game dealers, the system we have to use non-toxic. In most cases, from shot to death, it's taking a lot longer than it is when he's been led. And that's from bitter experience, and speaking to many of my colleagues, especially a lot of the professionals in the SGA, they're finding shot to death is not as rapid as it was with lead, and we're having to move target. We didn't have this conversation 6-7 years ago about it. It was that, so there's welfare issue with it. Also the ricochet at night in urban, peri-urban, and in forestry. The non-toxics do have an issue with ricochet. And that the health safety directors will have to take that into account. And you saw that. I mean, the reaction on that, I was falling. I didn't actually see, I knew it had hit, but the reaction wasn't like that normally. No, it just went on, and then it stumbled. You've hit it. They'll have to get it right if the law is that's the case, but so far it's a work in progress.
As always, pulling the trigger is the easy part. Graham brings the Argo to load and extract the stag. Having witnessed the steel action rifle in action, Alistair asks for Graham's professional opinion.
I started off in the Fieldsports business as the last apprentice with John Dixon's sons in the old John Dixon's, making rifles, shotguns and pistols. The build quality is very good, really good actually. It's the quietest rifle I've shot with in years. It's unbelievably quiet, it's like a 2.2. It's quick, push the safety in, you fire, bang, straight back. You don't even have to take your cheek off the stock, bang. It's quick, it's fast, and it's well built. The only thing I would have on it would be a cheek piece, but you can get that as an extra. But if you did it for the Scots, because we're all frugal, we want a cheek piece as standard. And other than that, it's brilliant. But the sound moderator, steel action, you just do not hear it. None of the deer reacted to the shot. Unbelievable for a 300. Couldn't believe that. And it just poleaxed everything we shot. Perfect.
Like many areas of the Highlands and Islands, remoteness means that if something goes wrong, the emergency services will struggle to reach you, which is why Graham takes working in the larder seriously.
Modern chainmail, and it's basically because it covers the main veins and arterial parts of the body. And there has been people in the past who've stabbed themselves, and one chap died a while ago, stabbing himself in the artery, and he bled to death, getting cut and nicked. You'll see quite often in aprons there'll be cuts and nicks. This is a new one, so there isn't any, but at the end of the season you always have a little slip and cut and stab. We also use the gloves for doing it as well. And we are so far away from the hospital, by the time a helicopter came here, if you stabbed yourself in the veins, you'd be dead. So for £100, do it, be safe. If you go home from the hill, you want to come home to your family, simple as that. And one of the most dangerous places is knives going around is a larder, slipping on the floor, all the anti-skid, handling heavy weights, getting caught fingers, muscle, manual handling. Do it properly. Don't be a hero and lift stupid weights. Get the kit and do it and be safe. Certainly, I would never not wear this where I am. We're so remote. Simple as that.
75.
75. I told you it was like that.
50 kilos left on the other one.
Yeah, and he's thin on the back, so nothing special. As I say, we've got loads better 8-pointers than this. He's a young beast. He's not great in the back. You might find he'll have a parasite burden on him, so we'll check the liver and things, but nothing special. See it curling up? That's a liver fluke, and that's in the liver. And that came out before I opened up the portal gland inspection, so that's why he's probably not in good condition. He's not balanced, and he's not a great condition on him. Although he's got fat, but nothing like yesterday, so he's got fluke. So that liver gets condemned with everything else.
It's been a special trip, meeting new people, testing new kit, and showing just how flexible you need to be to get results. It's a good job. Mr. Pilbeam loves a challenge.
So a variety of shots, a variety of scenery, a variety of beasts. I think that's, to me, is just what's made this trip quite special. Well done, Graham, well done, Pennygal.
Now the rifle, of course.
Oh, the rifle. It's functional, it works, it shoots incredibly well. So I think actually, well done, steel action. It's given me 2 very memorable shots perhaps, which I think is the most important thing. Schmidt & Bender is quality, quality, quality. A lot of scopes now getting quite big. I think this can be a real winner.
To learn more about the steel action rifles, go to steelaction.de, Schmidt & Bender, schmidtundbender.de, and to see what other products Alistair is bringing to the UK market, including German clothing brand Raffle, go to harknessetal.co.uk.
Thanks, Tim, Graham and Alistair. For further viewing, have a look at our Field Tester channel where Graham explains the pros and cons of his 6-wheel Can-Am versus his Argo Cat. And a quick follow-up to last week's item about the Proficient Deer Stalking course, the PDS1. You can join that course and learn more about stalking via our shop, link below. Now, Fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk features night vision kit. Here is Owen from the Cumbria Country Sports Channel on the Pard Night Stalker Pro.
Great night out on the bunnies last night with David. Managed to shoot a couple. If you do like the look of the Pard Night Stalker 4K Pro, you have got the chance to win one for £2.99 a ticket through Fieldsportscompetitions.co.uk. It's only a few hours before the competition ends, so get your tickets bought and be in with the chance to win this great bit of kit.
Thanks, Owen. There are 3 other raffles underway, including a £3,000 Schmidt & Bender scope, which is the one Tim was using on Mull, plus Bush Wear Thorn Guard Pro gaiters and leggings, and a Hart Izzard jacket. Ticket prices start from £1.29. Time is running out. Deadline is this Friday, the 31st of October 2025 at 8 p.m. Next up, Harrogate looked like it wasn't going to get a Northern Shooting Show in 2026 until a couple of standholders stepped in and said they would organise it themselves. I went on a rimfire range day to meet them.
If you want proof that shooting events should be indoors, come to a range day outside Caerphilly during a rainstorm.
So we're here today to do an NRL Hunter training day. We had a full complement this morning. Everyone stood there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, soaking wet through, ready to go. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the visibility's poor. But if the visibility was good, we'd still be shooting in the rain. We stalk in the rain, we do a lot of sports in the rain. It's just the visibility for the safety side. So hoping that blew over, but it hasn't done. So unfortunately, we had to make that decision.
Now, there is a reason why I mentioned that it would be better indoors, because next summer, 2026, Simon is one of the organisers of the newly constituted Northern Country Sports Show in Harrogate. It aims to pick up where the National Shooting Show, also in Harrogate, which ended in 2025, left off. Another organiser is Simon's old friend Christian Westcott.
For me, there's nothing better than going to a show and just getting together with the wider community. And also that community extends beyond our passion of hunting and target shooting. It extends to fishermen, people that run dogs, game shoots, clay shooting grounds. It's just great bringing everybody together, quite a diverse section of the country sports world in one place, and you get to meet some fantastic characters and share stories. And yeah, we want a real community feel at the show going forward. And we're looking forward to hopefully doing things a little bit differently.
What was the Northern Shooting Show, then the National Shooting Show, was going to cease to exist. We couldn't let it happen. Us as exhibitors, we've been there for years. We're from the north, we're from North Yorkshire, we love Harrogate, we love the show. And a decision was made amongst us all collectively that the show needed to stay there. And it was a great decision. So far the way we've been received by people has been fantastic. The exhibitors that are coming, the organisations we're working with, it's been an absolute joy.
There's a great tradition in Yorkshire of hunting and shooting and all sorts of country sports. And if you've not been to the Great Yorkshire Showground in Harrogate, it's rolling lawns, ponds, we'll have camping there as well for people. And our ticket prices are that reasonable that really there's no excuse for people not to make a full weekend of it. And what we'd really encourage is for people to bring along their family. So come as a family, come with friends, make a weekend of it, and then every year what you should be doing is putting the Northern Country Sports Show, the first thing on the fridge calendar, as the thing you want to do.
For more about the Northern Country Sports Show, visit northerncountryssportsshow.co.uk.
Thanks all who turned out for that. And that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please visit our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us on X and TikTok, subscribe to us on YouTube, or pop your email address into our weekly newsletter box. And we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday, and this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.